Today, we're diving into 9 simple psychological habits, and these are all designed to do one thing: calm your mind, save your energy, and just make daily life feel, well, lighter. Let's jump right in. You know that feeling, right, where you just feel weighed down, but you can't even point to a big crisis that's causing it? It's just the pressure of everything. But what if the secret to a lighter life isn't about changing what's happening around you, but changing what's happening inside your own head? And that is exactly where we're going to start. We've broken these habits into 3 main areas. And the first one is all about mastering your inner world, because really, that's where true peace begins, with how we handle our own thoughts and expectations. So this first habit, it seems almost too simple, but it is so powerful. We're constantly setting ourselves up for frustration by expecting way too much from other people or from situations we just can't control. The shift here is to deliberately lower those external expectations. That's where you find your freedom. So here's the bottom line. Put your energy where it's actually going to make a difference. You can control your own effort, right? Your own actions, your own integrity. You have zero control over anybody else's. And once you really get that, once you make that mental switch, it's a foundation for a much more peaceful life. Here's another huge internal shift: changing how we think about being alone. You know, society kind of paints it as this negative thing, loneliness. But there's a totally different way to look at it. Being comfortable in your own company isn't a weakness at all. It's actually a sign of incredible emotional strength. It's not loneliness, it's solitude. It's a chance to actually connect with yourself. Okay, so once we start getting a handle on our inner world, the next logical step is to change how we deal with the outer world. This section is all about these small but seriously effective tweaks in how we communicate that can save a ton of mental energy. Oh, this is a big one. You ever catch yourself just rambling, trying to justify a simple decision you made? We all do it. And that impulse to over-explain usually comes from a place of insecurity. Genuinely confident people, they say what they need to say, clearly, and then they stop. They get that their choices don't need a stamp of approval from everyone else. And right along with that is the power of silence. I mean, we live in such a noisy world, right? Choosing to just be quiet can be an incredibly powerful move. It gives you room to think, it stops you from saying something you'll regret, and it projects this kind of quiet confidence that, honestly, words can't always match. This builds on that last idea, and it's a really critical distinction to make. Reacting, that's that knee-jerk emotional outburst. It's fast, and let's be honest, it usually makes things worse. A response, though, is different. It's considered. It's a choice you make after a moment of thought. It's really the difference between pure instinct and intelligence. So how do we actually do that? How do we get from reacting to responding? Well, the tool for this is beautifully simple: the 3-second pause. Before you speak, before you hit send, before you act, just stop. Count to 3. That tiny little gap is often all the time your rational brain needs to catch up with your emotions. This little habit can literally save relationships. And this might be the most powerful communication tool there is for saving your own energy. See, every time you say yes to something you don't have time for, you're basically saying no to your own well-being. So this is just a reminder. You don't owe anyone a long, drawn-out excuse. No is enough. It's a complete sentence. All right, let's get into our third and final section. This is all about things you can do. These are real, tangible habits that will cut down on that mental clutter and stop you from wasting precious energy all day long. Man, we have been sold a lie about multitasking. We think we're being so productive, but all the research shows it's the exact opposite. All it does is split our focus, which jacks up our stress levels and makes us way more likely to make mistakes. Your brain just isn't built for it. It's designed for deep focus on one thing at a time. So one task, one moment, your full attention. Just think for a second about how much energy gets completely torched in pointless little disagreements. This simple 3-step process is like a filter for your brain. The next time you feel yourself getting pulled into some silly conflict, just stop and ask yourself that one question. The perspective you get from that is usually enough to make the whole thing just dissolve. So we've gone over 8 really great habits, but the one we save for last, this is the one that's described as having the power to change, well, pretty much everything. Just let that one sink in for a minute. Peace is more valuable than ego. It's the ultimate choice we have to make, isn't it? Your ego, it wants to be right. It needs to win. It has to get the last word in. But your mind, your spirit,
all it really wants is peace.
And this is what that actually looks like in real life. It's making a conscious choice to let go of that constant need to prove yourself. It's understanding that your own inner calm is a much, much bigger prize than the tiny, fleeting buzz you get from winning a debate or getting someone to agree with you. So, when you bring all 9 of these habits together, what's the big idea? We've reached our conclusion. An easier life doesn't come from having no problems. It comes from building a lighter, more resilient mind that can handle the problems that come your way. The journey here doesn't start by trying to do all of this at once. I mean, that's impossible. It starts by just choosing one. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking back at everything we've talked about, which single piece of mental weight feels like the one you're ready to put down starting today?